Hi, welcome to this day's Fireside Chat from my kitchen. And a big thank you again to Judy Zarubik, who is on the other end of this recording, making sure that all the technology works as smoothly as possible from her laundry room, because that's where the signal strength for her Wi-Fi is the strongest. A lot of finagling to make sure that happens. And it's amazing how much that is affecting a lot of what we do these days from a distance. Now, I am a fan of Star Trek. I know in an earlier Fireside Chat, I said that I was a fan of Star Wars. Well, I'm a fan of both. But the Star Trek, I'm especially a fan of the next generation iteration of the franchise. So in this slide, here's Captain Picard and his number one, remembering back to 2020 when the Lego stores opened after the pandemic was over. For many of us with lengthening locks, we might think we've stepped back into the 1960s hippie days. With all of that long hair, you want to get a haircut as soon as possible. So, yet our youngest children may well have some fears about the coming of a cure for COVID-19. What a cute little face. Once the kids are back in school and having to wear masks, could this be the result in the teacher's nightmare? While each day may seem the same to many of us, I don't think that's what the Creator was planning. Speaking of our Creator, here is a rewording of the 10 Commandments written for our time of Zoom meetings. In 2 days, on this Sunday, which is June the 14th, it will be our 169th anniversary. That is an amazing day to celebrate. But when we think of our church, we often think of the building, that venerable old structure that we call home. But our church building is closed because of the pandemic. Even on Sundays when we live stream our worship service, the only congregation beyond Jim and Judy Zarubik in the balcony working the tech are the pictures of all of us attached to the pews. Even still, things are changing inside. Thanks to the coordination and selection of Dottie McClellan, who, with donated funds, purchased our 2 new stoves now installed in the kitchen. Thanks to the property ministry for ensuring the receptacles are wired in and the drywall repaired to house the stoves. So now, once again, we can anticipate enjoying our legendary potluck dinners, our stew, soup, and buns luncheons, our Sundays on Sunday, and our beverages and cookies after worship. However, we can't in truth because the building is closed to protect one another. Nevertheless, we have faith that one day we will return. It may feel like the breathless time before the dawn because we ache for the sun to rise. Despite our yearning to return to a newly opened building now that Premier Doug Ford's government has given permission for churches to celebrate worship, allowing no more than 30% capacity, what might worship look like while the pandemic still requires safety protocols to flatten the curve? How will worship change to continue to keep everyone as safe as possible? Here's one scenario.
Where'd you go? We at Bethany Baptist Church have put together an informative safety video to reassure you that we have your health and well-being in mind as we return to church. As you enter the church, you can expect a warm and friendly welcome. You'll be greeted by the pastor and will be given the option of a socially distanced handshake. All necessary equipment will be provided. In advance of each service, you'll be provided with hymns that will be played during our time of worship. And to participate, we would ask that you would pre-record yourself at home singing along to each hymn. At church, you will then be instructed by the pastor to press play in unison at the appropriate time.
Then sings my soul,
Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee, how great thou art. It is vitally important that we as a congregation press play at the exact same time so that our voices can be united in perfect harmony.
Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art.
To ensure that we comply with social distancing protocols, the Sunday offering has been slightly altered with your safety in mind. As well as cash, we now accept all major credit cards, including American Express. The offering bag has been modified to accept contactless payments for your convenience. We at Bethany always enjoy a time of fellowship, with tea, coffee and refreshments being served on a Sunday evening. Can I assure you that this is still something that you can participate in at the end of the new services? Milk and sugar will be provided in your pews, and all you have to do is avail yourself of your preferences. If you do take your drink with milk, then please take a mouthful before being served your tea or coffee. The pastor will serve the hot drinks while maintaining a safe distance. This will ensure there's no cross-contamination. If you take sugar, then we have disposable spoons for your safety is our priority. Of course, if you prefer your refreshments without either milk or sugar, then your preferences are our priority. We at Bethany always enjoy a biscuit with our tea or coffee, so they too will be served in similar fashion whilst adhering to government guidelines and meeting the social distance requirements. There will be a wide choice of biscuits available, and also those that meet dietary requirements, whether it's vegan, gluten-free, lactose intolerant, whatever it may be, all are available upon request. Baptisms will still take place during these unprecedented times. They will be modified slightly to ensure the safety of both the pastor and the baptizee. If you are interested in a baptism, then please fill out a form as you leave the church. As we say goodbye, it is our primary goal to ensure that you leave church uncontaminated and with a peace of mind knowing that you are being kept safe during your visit with us. On exiting, you will be thoroughly sanitised to ensure that this goal is achieved. We do thank you for visiting with us at Bethany Baptist Church, and we pray that you had a blessed time.
Oh, it was so lovely to just see everyone, and such a blessing just to be with everyone in church and to be all together, even though obviously distancing prevented some things, but I really think we've been able to come back properly. You know, we've managed with the social distancing, and yeah, it's been a blessing.
Oh, it was such a blessing being back in church. So lovely to have a fellowship. It was so sweet. It was well worth the sacrifice.
Yeah, I know there was some resistance to returning to church after all the social distancing, but I don't know what the fuss is about. I think, you know, we can maintain this, and this is something that we'll get used to over time, as with anything. Yeah, you're going to have the odd people who are not going to like the new way of doing things, but you know, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I think the pastor and the diaconate have really thought this out very clearly, and I think this is quite a bright future for the way in which the church can go forward following the lockdown.
Have you got any towels?
As you can see, it will be a long time before things will return to normal. In fact, a group of public health experts got together to evaluate the level of riskiness for a series of given activities in light of the pandemic. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the riskiest and 1 being the least risky, opening bars ranked as the riskiest with a ranking of 9. The lowest risk with a rating of 1 was playing tennis and getting takeout food from a restaurant. Going to worship at church was ranked an 8, along with attending sporting events, working out at public gymnasiums, and going to amusement parks. Ouch. Obviously, going to church, whether for worship, Bible studies, small groups, prayer groups, charitable activities, or any other activities that we gather for, is one of the riskiest things we can do while in a pandemic. For example, as you notice in the video, we will not be able to sing in worship because it spews aerosol droplets as vigorously and as far as if someone were to cough hard without covering their mouth. Those droplets go about 4 to 5 meters away when we sing. With the live streaming we are now providing, at least we can sing along with the hymns in comfort and the relative safety of our homes. As well, there are many in our family of faith who are among the most vulnerable to infectious spread. We certainly do not want to be the location of a super spreader event. We love one another, and we would not wish that result on anyone. Indeed, many people would not feel comfortable returning to worship for that very reason. Now, I have communicated with one minister in Calgary who led a worship service way back in mid-March before the lockdown. They followed all the protocols recommended by the provincial public health officer to the letter, keeping us safe 2 meters from anyone else, providing hand sanitizers for frequent use, reminding people regularly to avoid touching their faces, not shaking hands, and passing the peace only by bowing to one another. After worship, still diligently observing all the protocols, they had a celebratory social time. Despite their precautions, in their midst was one person who had COVID-19 but was asymptomatic. Within 2 weeks, 24 of the 41 people present were infected. As the minister of Living Spirit United Church, Shanna Mang, stated after one of those infected died, she said, "Think about the oldest person that you hang out with and visit and take care of. Are you willing to give them up? If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have held worship or the party. My heart is broken." There is a small group set up by our council to explore the protocols necessary for us to open the church building. Now, I am part of that small group, and we are working to research scientific information while discussing what is doable as we try to keep everyone as safe as possible. You need to know that the church building will not be opening before September at the earliest. It just isn't safe. And I don't want to choose who we will give up. We will certainly keep you up to date as events unfold, just as we will keep the council fully informed as we formulate our recommendations for the council to consider. While we wait, while we prepare to celebrate our anniversary as a community of faith this Sunday, I invite you to honor our collective ministry as we remember our mission in Christ's name. We'll go to the next slide. Over the distance, we provide excellent pastoral care by phone, by text, or by social media, but at a greater distance than this picture shows. We can look forward to a time when we can return to gathering to learn about God. Just for now, we'll have to continue to do that at home. We know that Baron Ports has planted the next crop of sunflowers to continue our reaching out into the world through the Canadian Food Grains Bank. We will continue to strengthen our ties to Cape Croker through Joyce Johnson and her family. We will hold Jalen Wolf in prayer as we remember her gift of jingle dress dancing for worship 2 summers ago. We will continue to support local charities like the Kincardine Food Bank housed at Church of the Messiah Anglican Parish just down the street. We will remember how we provided years of Scottish festival tea rooms and look forward to more in the years to come. We will continue to hold the participants and volunteers for the Dory Lunch program in our prayers, ready to start again once it's safe. We will celebrate our second Affirming Diversity worship service on Friday, June 26th, but this year it will be broadcast by live stream. All of these images I have shared represent only a small glimpse of the ministry we will share with our community. Even these few slides are reason enough to celebrate our anniversary. They stimulate memories and swell our sense of purpose, our living with meaning. Even though we hurt when we cannot meet in person, cannot hug one another in joyful greeting, cannot share a potluck meal or an after-church snack, cannot sing God's praises together, cannot do many things that we used to take for granted, we can dream of when we will return, and we will return. Our memories and our connections will have to be enough to sustain us by the Spirit's power. I want to offer you this video as a prayer of remembrance and a prayerful way to cherish memories of whom we have been, of whom we are, and of whom God is calling us to become. This is One Voice Children's Choir, and it features over 150 voices from 5-year-olds to 18-year-olds, and has been able to cover the earth with their music. They are the recipients of the John Lennon International Music Award. They progressed to the quarterfinal round on America's Got Talent, and they received Utah's Best of State Award for 5 consecutive years. In this video, the choir covers the song Memories by Maroon 5 using their own specially written harmonies and beatbox vocalizations.
Dum 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 dum.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today, close to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you.
There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever.
everything would stay the same.
Now my heart feel like December. When somebody say your name.
Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day, yeah.
Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday, yeah.
But everything will be alright. Go with your voice and say, hey.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Close to the ones here today. Close to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost.
When I felt that all the hatred was too powerful to stop.
Now my heart feel like an ember,
And it's lighting up the dark.
I'll carry these torches for you.
But you know I'll never drop. Yeah.
Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday, hey, hey.
But everything gon' be alright. Go and raise your voice and say, hey.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today. Close to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you.
Memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. Here's to the ones. Memories bring back you. Here's to the Memories bring back you. Memories bring back you.
Like it says at the very end of the video, I love you too. All of you. Every amazing one of you. Your talents, your smiles, your caring, your faith, your insights, your food, your words of comfort, your time, your hard work, your organizational skills, your silliness, your sorrows, your joys, your singing, your dancing, your sobs, your grief, your you. I invited you to celebrate Concord United Church and make a special financial donation. And oh boy, did you ever. I challenged you to give over $2,000, but you went far beyond that. To date, you have raised over $5,000 to celebrate our community of faith. And all of this in time for our anniversary Sunday. Woohoo! As I promised when I issued the challenge, I will be shaving my hair off tomorrow and posting the process to our YouTube channel. I wanted to shave it off to avoid a terrible haircut like one of these. I also promised to give $1,000 out of my own pocket to the church so that you would know that I was putting my money where my big mouth is. And that was done last night. Thank you to all of you for such an amazing result and for the amazing people you all are. Before we go, I'd like to send you off with another blessing taken from Indigenous spiritual tradition in anticipation of National Indigenous Peoples Sunday on June 21st. This blessing is the Chinook prayer from the Pacific Northwest coast. So let us go forth with this blessing. May all I say and all I think be in harmony with thee. God within me, God beyond me, maker of the trees. Amen. Go in peace and enjoy, everyone. Until our next fireside chat, farewell.